The crash had come fast. 1 second, Alex's ship was moving smooth through space. The next, alarms screamed. Lights blinked red. Something had hit the engine. He tried to fix it, but the ship spun out of control. The stars blurred, then, boom. Darkness. When Alex opened his eyes, he was lying in grass that glowed blue under his hands. His body ached, his head throbbed, and above him was not the sky of Earth, but a strange, deep purple sky filled with 2 suns and swirling gas clouds. He was not on Earth anymore. Alex groaned and sat up. His suit was scratched and his comm device was broken. His escape pod was smashed behind him, half buried in the glowing forest. Tall trees with silver leaves stretched up around him. Their trunks pulsed faintly, like they were alive. He was completely alone. No signal, Alex muttered, tapping the broken screen on his wrist. No comms, no food, no map. Great. He stood and looked around. The forest was beautiful but strange. Plants moved without wind. Flowers opened and closed like breathing mouths. He could hear strange bird-like calls in the distance, but also something else. Whispers, not words. Just soft, strange sounds that drifted through the trees. Alex grabbed the emergency pack from the wreck and began walking. He needed water, shelter, a signal, anything. As he walked, the jungle got thicker. The colors changed. Blue grass turned to red moss. Trees had long, twisting vines that glowed faintly. Something above him moved. From tree to tree, fast and quiet, he couldn't see it, but he felt watched. Probably just an animal, he whispered to himself, but even he didn't believe that. Hours passed. He found a stream with green water. He didn't dare drink it. Strange fish-like creatures swam near the surface and vanished when he got close. Night came fast, except it wasn't really night. 1. Sun faded, but the second stayed low in the sky, casting a soft orange light. Strange stars appeared. Blue, red, gold. The forest didn't get darker. It just changed colors, and the whispers grew louder. Alex built a small fire using dry vines and heat rocks from the escape pod. He sat close, holding a metal rod like a weapon. The sounds in the jungle didn't stop. They got closer. Then, a footstep. Soft. Careful. Then another. Alex stood, holding the rod high. "Who's there?" he called. No answer. He turned, heart pounding. Eyes scanning the trees, then he saw them. Eyes, dozens of them, not animals. Not beasts. They looked like women. Tall, slender, with glowing skin in shades of violet and gold. Their hair was like silk made of light. Some had markings on their faces. Some wore cloaks made of leaves and feathers. They stood half-hidden, behind trees watching him. Alex didn't move. One of them stepped forward. She was taller than him, her eyes glowing soft blue. She held no weapon. Her voice was calm, musical. "Stranger, why are you in our jungle?" Alex blinked. He couldn't understand her words, but somehow in his mind they made sense. "My ship crashed," he said. "I didn't mean to come. I'm lost." The women whispered to each other in their language. Another one stepped forward. She looked older. Her gaze was sharp. "You are a male?" Alex frowned. "Yes?" The group gasped. Then they all began walking toward him. Slow, careful. Some reached out as if to touch him but stopped. He stepped back, nervous. "What's going on?" he asked. The first woman answered, her voice soft. "Our kind has not seen a man in over 200 years. Alex froze. "What?" They surrounded him now. Not hurting, just watching. Like he was something rare, something impossible. "We must take you to the Queen," the first woman said. "She will decide your fate." Alex didn't want to go anywhere, but he was outnumbered, alone, and they didn't seem cruel, just cautious, curious. One offered her hand. He hesitated, then took it. As they walked through the glowing jungle together, Alex felt the weight of something big pressing down on him. He wasn't just lost anymore. He had landed somewhere ancient, secret, and forgotten. And now, he was the only man in a tribe of alien women, and they had no plans of letting him go. Alex walked through the glowing jungle, surrounded by the strange women. Their skin shimmered under the twin moons. Their eyes watched him, some with wonder, some with suspicion. No one spoke much. Only the wind and the tall silver trees made a sound. But Alex felt it, a quiet tension, like something important was about to happen. They led him through a hidden path. It was covered in vines, smooth stones, and strange glowing flowers that closed when he stepped near them. The deeper they went, the stranger everything looked. Trees carved with symbols, statues of tall women, and glowing orbs floating in the air. Finally, they reached the village. It wasn't made of buildings. It was part of the jungle. Homes shaped inside trees, rope bridges, hanging lanterns, soft music floating in the air like wind chimes. It was peaceful, beautiful, but quiet, almost too quiet. No men, not one. The women walked freely, all of them, tall, graceful, and dressed in nature's colors, leaf gowns, feather capes, shining crystal beads in their hair. But their faces looked tired, like something had been missing for a long time, and now they were staring at him. The older woman from before stepped forward. Her name, he learned, was Kelra, and she was a high elder. She led him to a central platform where a large fire burned. All around it the tribe gathered. Dozens, maybe 100 or more. Then came Zara, the same woman who had first spoken to him. She now stood tall and proud, wearing a long robe made of silver leaves. Her voice was calm but firm. "We have brought him here," she said to the tribe. "He fell from the sky. He walks like a warrior, but he speaks like a lost child. He is the first of his kind we have seen in many generations." There were gasps and whispers. Some were hopeful. Others were afraid. "He is human," one woman called out. "Our stories speak of them. They left long ago. They never returned." "He could bring danger," another warned. "What if more come?" Zara looked at Alex. "We will not harm him. Not yet. But the queen must see him." Alex frowned. "The queen?" Kelra nodded. "She is very old. She remembers the last time men walked this land. She will decide if you are a gift or a curse." That word chilled Alex. Curse. But he said nothing. He had no power here. Only questions. They took him to a tall tree at the heart of the village. It glowed softly from inside. 2 guards opened the bark-like doors. Inside it was warm. The walls were living wood, curling upward like a shell. At the center, on a bed of petals, lay the queen. She was older than any being Alex had ever seen. Her hair was long and silver. Her skin glowed faint blue. Her eyes opened slowly, and they were full of stars. Literally. Her eyes sparkled like galaxies. "He is real," she whispered. Her voice was soft but powerful. "A male." After all these years, Zara stepped forward. "Shall we keep him, Your Grace?" The queen studied Alex. "How did you come here, child of Earth?" "My ship crashed," he said quietly. "I didn't choose this." The queen nodded slowly. "Many of your kind left. They forgot about us. We have lived without men since the Great Burning. We survived, but we are fading." Alex stayed quiet. "Now you arrive," the queen continued. "By accident or by fate?" No one had an answer. Finally, the queen stood slowly, her body tall and regal despite her age. "He shall stay," she said. A wave of gasps filled the air, but only for 7 nights. After that, we decide. He may prove to be a seed of change or a shadow of destruction. The queen turned and vanished into a curtain of glowing vines, and just like that, Alex's fate was sealed. Zara led him to a small hut near a quiet stream. "You will sleep here," she said softly. He looked at her. Why are you helping me? Zara paused, then looked at the sky. Because once, she whispered, I dreamed of the stars, and you fell from them. She walked away. Alex stood in the doorway, the strange jungle wind brushing past him. 7 nights. That's all he had, to prove himself, to survive, and maybe to understand why these alien women had waited so long for someone like him. The morning light on the alien planet was soft and golden, like liquid sun. Birds with crystal wings flew low across the sky, singing strange, echoing songs. But Alex didn't feel peace. He hadn't slept much. His mind raced all night. He was still trying to understand what had happened. He was alone, trapped in a village of alien women who hadn't seen a man in generations. And now, he had only 7 nights to prove something. But no one had told him what. He stepped outside the little hut they had given him. A bowl of sweet-smelling fruit sat near the door. Someone had left it for him. Zara. She was waiting by the stream, her reflection dancing on the water. When she saw him, she smiled, but her eyes were serious. You should come. The Queen has called for the gathering. The what? Alex asked. She didn't answer, just walked ahead. The gathering was held in a giant open space in the middle of the village. Vines formed seats in rings, rising like a theater. The Queen stood high above on a platform made of living wood. Wind moved through her silver hair like waves. Every woman in the tribe had gathered. All eyes were on Alex as Zara led him to the center of the ring. He felt like prey. The Queen raised her hand. Today, she said, we begin the nights of judgment. A hum spread through the crowd. Zara whispered to Alex, the Queen will speak to the elders. They will decide what tasks you must face. You must not fail. Alex kept his voice low. Why do I have to prove anything? I didn't ask to come. Here. Zara looked at him. Because you might be the last chance our people have. That answer chilled him. The Queen began speaking again. For many years our tribe has survived without men, but we are fading. Our children are few. Our strength weakens. Long ago, men were not only mates, but protectors, builders, thinkers, dreamers. We lost more than bodies. We lost balance. She turned her gaze to Alex. Now a male has returned, not from our own kind, but from the stars. He has 7 nights to show us if the old way can return, or if the future must forget it forever. Then the Queen pointed a long finger toward him. Tonight, the first trial begins. Alex's heart dropped. Trial? Yes, the Queen said. You must enter the field of echoes before the second sun sets. Gasps echoed through the crowd. Zara stepped forward. That place is cursed. He won't survive alone. The Queen's voice remained calm. Then he is not the man we hoped for. Alex didn't even know what the field of echoes was, but he already hated the sound of it. Later that day, Zara helped him pack supplies, herbs, water drops, and a strange blade that shimmered in sunlight. The field is a testing place, she said. Our warriors go there to face their fears. It's full of creatures that mimic sounds. You will hear things that are not real, but if you panic, they become real enough to hurt you. Alex frowned. Why does your Queen want me to do this? Zara paused. Because once, long ago, an outsider betrayed us. A male. He promised to help us. But he destroyed part of our village and left. We buried many sisters that day. And now you think I'm like him? I don't, Zara said softly. But the Queen remembers, and she never forgets. As the second sun began to lower, Alex walked toward the edge of the jungle. The trees grew thinner. The wind was colder. The sky began to dim. Zara stood beside him. You will hear voices, she said. Maybe even mine. But trust only your heart. Alex nodded. And if I survive? She looked at him with something like hope in her eyes. Then you take the second trial, and maybe you begin to belong. He walked forward, alone, into the field. The field of echoes was silent at first, too silent. Then a sound. His name. Alex. He spun around. No one. Another whisper. This time behind him. Help me. It was a child's voice, a girl's voice. He took a step back. Then another sound, a scream. One he had heard before. His sister's voice. Earth, years ago. Before the accident. Alex clenched his fists. It wasn't real. It couldn't be. Then something moved in the dark, something with claws. He ran. Back in the village, Zara stood at the fire, her eyes fixed on the jungle. He won't survive, someone whispered. Zara didn't answer, but in her heart, something strange stirred. She wanted him to. Alex stumbled back into the village just before sunrise. His clothes were torn. His face had cuts. His arms were shaking. But he was alive. Dozens of alien women gathered silently to see him return from the field of echoes. No outsider had ever come back from it alone. But Alex had. Zara rushed to him. Her hand touched his arm, gently, as if she couldn't believe he was real. You made it, she whispered. He gave a weak smile. Barely. Behind them, the queen stood quietly. Her face didn't show emotion, but her voice rang with power. He passed the first trial. Tonight he rests. Tomorrow he begins the next. No cheers, no celebration, just quiet eyes watching him, judging him. But Zara's gaze was different. Hers was full of something else. That night, Zara brought him food and water. She sat by his side inside the little hut. Did the echoes lie to you? She asked softly. Alex nodded. They showed me things from Earth, voices of my family, pain from my past. I nearly lost myself. But you didn't. I heard your voice too, he added. Calling me. She looked down. I prayed you would. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Zara said something no other had dared to say aloud. You don't belong here. But a part of me wants you to. Alex didn't answer right away. You're different from the others, he said finally. You don't fear me. I fear what your presence means, she admitted. But not you. Their eyes met. The air between them grew still. Neither spoke of love. It was too early. But something unspoken passed between them. A connection. A bond. The next day, the queen announced the second trial, the Bridge of Truth. Alex had to cross a long, narrow bridge made of glowing vines that only formed with trust. If his heart carried lies, the vines would vanish. Zara walked beside him, to the start of the bridge. This test isn't about strength, she warned. It's about what's in your heart. I don't have secrets, he said. Zara shook her head. We all do. He stepped onto the first vine. It held. Then the next. Halfway across, the vines began to shake. Whispers rose again. This time, voices of the village women. He's lying. He doesn't care. He just wants escape. Alex paused. Then he said out loud, I didn't ask to come here. I wanted to leave. I hated this place at first. I even feared you. The bridge glowed brighter. He kept walking. But now, something's changed. I still don't understand you. But I don't want to run anymore. With those words, the final vine appeared. He stepped onto the other side. He had passed. That night, the village gathered again. Some women whispered of the old stories. Stories of the last human who came. He tricked their people. He took what he wanted and left ruin. But others saw something different in Alex. He listened. He learned. He didn't demand. He respected. Even the queen noticed the difference. Later, under the glowing moonflowers, Zara met Alex near the water's edge. You surprised them, she said. I surprised myself. She hesitated, then stepped closer. There's a law, she whispered. No woman of the tribe may bond with an outsider. It is forbidden. Alex nodded. Then I shouldn't stay close to you. But neither of them moved. Zara looked up at the twin moons. Laws were written by those who feared the future. Alex touched her hand gently. Do you fear it? She looked at him. "No," she said, and for the first time they both smiled without fear. But from the trees, unseen by them, someone else watched. Vexa, a proud and powerful warrior of the tribe, one who had long waited for Zara to lead beside her. Her eyes burned with jealousy. The human was changing everything, and she would not allow it. The moon was blood red, a rare sign. The elders called it the night of trials. A night that came once every 100 years. A night where fate tested both the tribe and its future. This time, all eyes were on Alex, and not all of them were friendly. He stood before the ancient stone circle in the center of the village. Firelight danced across his face. The entire tribe surrounded him, some curious, some nervous, a few hostile. The queen stepped forward. "You have survived the jungle, you have crossed the bridge. But tonight," she said, her voice echoing through, "the night we test your spirit, not just your body. Tonight, you face the 3 spirits of our past." Alex swallowed hard. "Spirits?" Zara, standing at the edge of the crowd, nodded quietly. "They're not ghosts. They're memories. Living memories. Created by the tribe's pain. He would face what no man had faced before, and someone wanted him to fail." Vexa watched from the shadows. She hated how Zara looked at the human. She hated the way the tribe had started to whisper, some even wondering if a new future could begin. A future where a human stood beside their leader. Vexa couldn't allow that. She approached the elder who controlled the trial's energy flow. Her voice was like ice. "Make his spirit stronger, make him see what we saw and when men betrayed us." The elder hesitated. "It's forbidden, so is loving an outsider." Vexa hissed, "Do it, or I will." Alex stepped into the trial ring. The fire went out. Darkness swallowed him. Then the first memory rose from the ground, like mist. A warrior woman, tall and armored, her eyes full of rage. "You lied," she said, pointing at him. "You said you'd protect us. You left us to burn." Alex realized this was the image of the human who betrayed the tribe generations ago. He looked just like him. The face, the body, even the voice. "No," Alex whispered. "I'm not him." The spirit charged. Alex didn't fight. He held out his arms. "I won't hurt you. I'm not your enemy." The spirit stopped inches from his face, then vanished like smoke. The second spirit was worse. It was a mother, crying over an empty cradle. Her voice broke as she spoke. "You said you'd help. You said we'd survive. My children starved." Alex felt the pain in her voice like a blade. "I don't have the answers," he said softly, "but I won't turn away from your pain. I'm here now, not to run, but to help rebuild." The mother looked up and faded. Then came the third spirit, and this one was Zara, or a memory of her. She stood cold and silent, her eyes filled with doubt. "Why should I trust you?" The spirit Zara said. "What if you leave too? What if you love, then vanish?" Alex's voice broke. "I can't promise forever. I don't even know how long I'll survive here. But I won't lie to you, I care. I feel something real. That's all I have to give." The spirit stepped forward and touched his chest. "You passed." The fires returned. Alex stood alone, shaking, covered in sweat, tears in his eyes. The trial was over. The tribe was silent. Then, the queen spoke. 3 trials, 3 truths. He did not break. He did not lie. He faced our past and honored it. Some cheered, some cried, but one voice cut through the night. "This changes nothing." Vexa stepped into the circle. "He passed your games, but he is still a human, still a danger. I demand combat. The old way. Warrior to warrior." Gasps spread through the tribe. The queen looked down. "He is not one of us." "Then let him. Prove if he is worthy." Alex looked at Zara. She stepped forward, her voice steady. "He doesn't need to fight." But Alex raised his hand. "I will." Zara turned to him, eyes wide. "You don't have to." I came here by accident, Alex said. But I stayed because something felt right. If I have to prove myself again, I will. The Queen nodded. At sunrise, the final challenge begins. That night, Zara came to him quietly. You're brave, she said. But Vexa is powerful. She's trained her whole life. Alex looked at her gently. Then maybe I'll lose. Zara shook her head. No, because now you're not alone. She reached into her robe and pulled out a necklace, woven with silver vines and a crystal in the center. It's a symbol of trust, she whispered. Wear it, and know that I believe in you. Alex took it slowly. Thank you for everything. She didn't speak. Instead, she leaned in and placed her forehead gently against his. No words, just warmth and unspoken hope. The sun rose slow and red, casting long shadows across the jungle village. But it wasn't the warmth of dawn the tribe felt. It was the chill of what was coming. A duel, not just for honor, not just for tradition, but for something deeper. Zara's heart, the tribe's future, and the human's right to stay. Alex stood in the center of the training circle, the necklace Zara gave him still resting against his chest. He wore simple armor made from the tribe's own vines and crystal plates. He wasn't a warrior, not like Vexa, but he had something else. Conviction. Zara stood nearby, her hands clenched. Her face looked calm, but her eyes were full of fear. Vexa entered like a storm. Her steps were strong. Her armor shimmered. Her weapon, a curved blade made of bone and firestone, glowed faintly in her hand. The tribe fell silent. The Queen raised her hand. This is the old way. Warrior against challenger. The fight ends when one yields, or can no longer stand. Then she looked at Alex. You may still walk away. Alex shook his head. I won't, Zara whispered, almost too softly. To hear, be careful, human, and the fight began with a flash. Vexa moved fast, too fast. Her blade swung low, nearly cutting Alex's leg. He jumped back, barely dodging. He wasn't trained in alien fighting styles, but his instincts kicked in. He blocked, he moved, he ducked, but Vexa fought with rage. You don't belong here, she shouted, slashing toward him. You're just a symbol, a mistake. Alex panted. Then why are you afraid of me? Her eyes flared. She attacked harder. The crowd gasped as Alex tripped and hit the ground. Vexa stood over him, blade raised high. Do you yield? She growled. Alex looked up, not at her blade, but past it, at Zara. He saw her face, and he stood up, bleeding, shaking, but standing. I don't yield, the crowd murmured. No one had expected that. Vexa hissed and lunged again. But Alex stepped aside. He didn't fight back with violence. Instead, he dodged, blocked, defended, again and again, until Vexa's anger burned out until she swung wild and lost her balance. Alex stepped behind her and placed his hand gently on her back. I won't hurt you, he said. I didn't come here to fight your people. I came here because fate put me here. I stayed because someone believed in me. Vexa froze. Her blade dropped. The Queen stood slowly. Then the duel is over. The circle was silent. Then Zara stepped forward. Without waiting for permission, she walked straight to Alex and held his hand. Gasps echoed through the crowd. No one had done that in over a century. A tribal leader, touching an outsider. Vexa stared at their hands. Anger still burned inside her, but deeper down, so did shame. She had fought for tradition, but what if tradition was the very thing keeping them broken? She turned without a word and walked away. That evening, the Queen summoned Alex alone. He entered the sacred chamber of glowing vines. The Queen sat on her throne of roots, her eyes heavy with years. You fought not with hate, but with heart, she said. You passed all trials. Alex bowed. I didn't expect to come here, but now I don't want to leave. The Queen nodded. Then stay. If Zara accepts you, then so do we. He paused. But your laws are tools, she said. Not chains. Later that night under the silver trees, Zara met him. He looked at her quietly. I still don't know what comes next. She smiled gently. Neither do I. But I want to find out, he said. With you. Zara took his hand again. No more trials, she whispered. Just one step at a time. They sat together. In the glowing grass, their fingers interlocked, the village slowly warming to a new truth. Sometimes fate chooses strangers to heal what time could not. Days passed, but the tribe still spoke of the night. Alex won the duel without drawing blood. Children, whispered his name. Elders watched him with new eyes. Women who once feared him now smiled when he passed. He had become more than a stranger. He had become a symbol of change, of peace, of something the tribe had almost forgotten. Hope. Zara stood with Alex near the waterfall that fed the village's water vines. It's strange, she said softly. You came from the stars, but now you feel like you were always meant to be here. Alex looked around at the peaceful valley. When I crashed, I thought it was the end, he said. But now, it feels like the beginning. She smiled, reaching out and brushing a leaf from his shoulder. You're still strange to us, human, but strange doesn't mean unwanted. That night, the queen called for a gathering. It wasn't a trial. It wasn't a test. It was a celebration. For the first time in over 200 years, the tribe lit the lantern of new fire, a flame that only burned when the future felt safe again. The air was full of music made from wind chimes and glowing reeds. Women danced barefoot across the soft grass. Children ran in circles, laughing like birds, and in the center, Alex and Zara stood side by side, two symbols of two different worlds, now becoming one. The queen raised her hand and spoke. We called him a stranger. We feared his presence, but he faced our past, honored our pain, and asked for nothing in return. She looked down at him. This human did not come as a conqueror. He came with open hands. He was given trials, and he walked through them with honesty and strength. He did not win with violence, but with heart. She turned to Zara. And you, daughter of the sky tree, chose with your spirit, not your fear. Zara stepped forward. I do not claim him to fix our tribe. I do not claim him to lead us. I claim him because I trust him. She looked at Alex. And because I care for him. A soft cheer rose from the crowd, hesitant at first, then louder. Voices sang in harmony. The flames danced brighter. Later, Zara and Alex sat beneath the largest tree in the village, the tree of first light. It was said to bloom only when love, trust, and unity returned to the tribe. For generations, it had been bare. But that night, it bloomed. Giant blue flowers opened along its twisting branches. Glowing petals floated down like soft snow. The tribe gasped. One by one, they came forward, placing their hands on the tree, and then on Alex's shoulder. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. He was no longer just a visitor. He was one of them. From the shadows, Vexa watched. She still bore the scar on her hand from the duel. But her eyes had changed. She stepped forward, slow and calm, and faced Alex. I don't like you, she said plainly. He gave a small grin. Fair enough. But I respect you. She held out her hand. Alex took it without fear. Vexa nodded. The tribe calls you a miracle now. I still call you a challenge. But maybe you're both. In the days that followed, Alex helped rebuild old huts, repair the stream barriers, and even taught the children how to build simple tools from metal scraps left in his broken ship. But more than what he gave the tribe was what he gave Zara. A reason to dream again, a reason to smile. And every time she looked at him, her heart whispered a truth she once thought impossible. She loved him. One evening, as the twin suns dipped below the distant hills, Alex turned. To her, "I never thought I'd find a home on another world." Zara leaned into him. "You didn't find a home, Alex. You became one." And far above, in the stars where his journey began, a single broken satellite blinked once, sending a faint signal across space. Earth might one day learn where Alex vanished, but the tribe already knew. He was never lost. He was chosen.